There we are. Looks like we're live. And do apologize that the um, almost was late. And the stream wouldn't start. So had to restart Chrome and uh, log back in, and it seems to be working okay now. So it looks like we've got about 5 feet of braid at this point, and we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome, everybody. See, we've got 2 people live here with us. And as usual, go through a quick run through for the pattern for those who aren't familiar with it yet. So for our 4 different quadrants, we start with the left side. We spread it open so we've got a nice gap in the middle. We take the 2 outer one on the right side, move them across to the center on the left side, spread the right side so we've got a gap here. Take the 2 outer ones on the left side, put them to the center on the right side, grab all 4 that we just moved, pull them a little snug, keep the point of braiding nice and firm. Then the top quadrant, we spread them open. We take the bottom 2 center ones, they go up to the top, and then we just alternate back and forth, going top to bottom, until all of the purple have been exchanged top to bottom. And that's the pattern. And it looks like I forgot to drop the tama from last time, so I'll have to do that real quick, so I've got enough purple to actually braid with. And I was able to spend a couple hours in the garage today, getting the shop more in shape, so hopefully pretty soon I'll be able to start turning out Kakudais again. And hopefully a few Marudais too. I really need like 1 or 2 12-inch Marudais so I can set up some of the more complex 32 tama patterns and do those as well. Anybody new on tonight, or we just have regulars? I'm going to see if I can get this one either finished or really close to being finished tonight. I can run for an hour or more if need be. pattern is outside right, inside left, outside left to inside right, tension, and top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. Hey Bane, how's it going? We're doing pretty good here. Got to spend a fair amount of time in the shop today, mostly cleaning, though I am trying to see if I can actually successfully do a nearly one-day print when it's cold out there. If it fails again, I think I'm going to go ahead and try to run the heater overnight, see if it can keep from getting too cold. Space heater under the printer. I don't think I can keep my whole garage warm without turning on the propane heater, and I don't want to leave that running all night. I'm also going to see if I can at least get the leaders out on the Tama so that I'm almost done, if not finish this one tonight. I won't actually tie it off because I like to sew the end, and that's not very easy for me to do on camera with this particular setup. Oh, and as for the new 3D printer I'm ordered that's supposed to be shipping soon, apparently the warehouse over in China is under COVID lockdown, so it might be even more delayed. Which is frustrating, but there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, you're definitely dealing with a lot more cold than I am. I think it's supposed to finally get down below freezing tonight for like by about 1 degree Fahrenheit. Looks like it's getting close to time for a side Tama drop. Yeah, my garage is uninsulated, but propane heater running while I'm out there keeps it bearable where I don't have to wear a coat, though I usually wear like a jacket or a hoodie. I'm thinking about getting it more insulated, or at least try and go through and seal up the cracks in the cinder block walls, but don't know if it's worth the effort. I do have a 50-gallon barrel stove conversion that I made about 15 years back, but I don't really have enough wood to use it regularly. It's mostly there for burning excess yard waste from what our trees drop in dead branches. You've got an oak tree, a couple of maples, and some new hickories that are growing up. I heard somewhere in central U.S. had snow today. I think it was around the Milwaukee area, but I'm not sure on that. I caught most of the Brooks trial today. Rather frustrating listening to it. Yeah, we don't have a lot of grass, but like I said, we do have an old oak tree that drops branches somewhat regularly. Probably gonna have to get it removed in a year or two. It's big enough though that that's going to be moderately difficult. Be nice if I could sell it for the wood, but I expect I'm probably going to have them cut it up and use it for the firewood. That should last me about half a winter. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if he's taken so long between questions just to try and stretch out the trial as much as he can before he gets convicted. There we go. Looks like it's about time to raise the bag again. In case you didn't catch, or I didn't say it after you popped in. Sorry, apparently I can't enunciate today. Started off at about 5 feet today at the start of the stream. And since I measured it, I know this disc is about 9.5 inches across. I was pretty sure it was about 10, but I hadn't measured it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Added about 2 inches. Yeah, I'm wondering when that's going to happen. I'm pretty sure anybody else it would have happened a long time ago, but they really don't want a successful appeal on this. But as I wander throughout the day, I have to suppress the urge every now and then to just suddenly shout out, "Grounds!" I see we're up to 3 people now. If anybody has any Kumihimo related questions, I'm happy to answer those, or just about my setup in general, what my goals are. what I'm planning on doing, the Kakudais I plan on building. I've already built like about 7 or 8 of them already. Kakudai design, Marudai design, pickup braids, whatever you feel like talking about. Hello, the Jammy Bricker. Yes, this is a 10-inch Marudai. It's actually 9.5 inches, but close enough to 10 that that's usually what I'll refer to it as. My other Marudai is actually a little bit smaller diameter, and I'm going to be probably in the next couple of weeks making a 12-inch one on my CNC router so that I can do some 32 Tama fairly complex patterns comfortably where I'm not having the strings all jammed up close together. Yeah, Bane, I'm definitely was thinking seriously about getting that mug. Glad to help the Jammy Bricker. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. The screen's a little far away, and my reading glasses aren't exactly the best at the moment. I probably should get a slightly better prescription for them. But they're progressives, so they work really well for a Marudai. And I think 3 is actually the most concurrent users I've ever had on a stream, so thanks to everybody who came by. I really appreciate it. YouTube is still convinced my channel's dying, so my impressions keep dropping off through YouTube, and my watch hours and number of views keeps dropping. So I usually get up to about 30 or 40 views for the braiding streams within a week, so that's nice. I appreciate everybody who stops by and watches them. Getting close to time to lower the purple Tama pretty soon, or the Tama with the purple strings. The Tama themselves are kind of ivory colored. And the way the Tama are looking, I think I'm going to run out of the yellow before I run out of the purple. But that's to be expected from the way this braid assembles itself. The yellow have longer to travel for each iteration compared with the purple. Um, when I'm not braiding on a Marudai, I just leave it as it is. The only cat we let upstairs where this is doesn't play with the tama, so they don't get knocked around. If I'm going to transport, I'll usually wrap the braid around the base of the mirror to keep the um, strands from moving around too much. As far as the end of the braid, usually what I try and do is I'll take thread matching the same color as the um, part of the braid, and I'll wrap it around and sew through it several times. So it's kind of like a little band that keeps it from unbraiding. Um, I'm using 100-gram tama. I make my own tama, so I can pretty much make them however I like. And for Marudai braiding, I tend to prefer using 100-gram tama. I can use lighter. There are some braids that you really should use different weight tamas on, but I haven't actually done any of those. So don't have a lot of personal experience just yet with it, though I might wind up doing that in the near future for the doing it on stream. But I haven't actually done any tablet weaving, so I'm not sure if they would help or not, the jammy bricker. If you'd like, I can just refer to you as Jammy, or I can use the full name, whichever is easier for you. Oh, and thanks everybody for the likes. That also helps a lot too. Looks like the yellow are going to need to be dropped as well. I'm thinking about doing streaming from my shop once I get it in a little better shape, and I'm actually doing something productive rather than just cleaning. But it tends to get noisy when I do that, so I'm not sure how viable that's going to be. I might just go ahead and do recorded video and then shrink it down with a time lapse and maybe do a vocal overlay on it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. As far as cleaning up the audio, um, I was thinking of maybe not running the audio at all and just chatting while it's going on, but I'm not sure how appealing that would be to people watching it. suppose I could license some music and run that as an overlay. But considering I'm still about 620 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours away from being able to monetize, it's probably not viable at the moment. Though I am thinking of setting up a Rumble channel as well. See if I can't get some cross-pollination going on there. Get around to getting a StreamYard subscription and multi-streaming maybe once I get 100 subscribers on Rumble. Yes, there is a die or stand that is square, and if I remember right, it's called a Kakudai, which is set up a little bit different in that instead of braiding top down, it tends to be you have the weights hanging off, and you have a take-up reel going up in the air to take up your braid. And a lot of times a foam core is fed up through the center from the bottom to give it, not a foam, but some sort of core to make it a larger, stiffer braid. But you could easily make a square Marudai and use it. There are some braids that won't work well on it, but others that actually, like this one, would actually do really well on it. So, yep, it would work perfectly fine. I haven't actually used a Kakudai, and I hope I'm not mispronouncing that too horribly. But I have seen pictures of it and books discussing how to use it. I will look through my books and see if I can't find a reference for you, and I will update the description for this stream with a link to where to find it and maybe a little commentary on it. Yeah. Would that be helpful? Hey, no problem. The main reason I'm doing these streams is to help people out, how to learn how to do Kumihimo, how to pick up additional skills and expand their hobby and learning. And it's time for the bag to come up too. And quick check for the length. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if I'm starting to lose some repeatability with this, but I say we got maybe 64 inches, maybe a bit more with what's coming from the underside of the Marudai. And sometimes it just might be the bag is sitting down more sometimes than others. I'll just take a little quick time out here. These are the Marudai, or these are the tama I make. The one here on the right is an older one before I started adding UV blockers to the acrylic, and the one on the left here, I'm pretty sure does have the UV blockers, but there's it's basically the same thing on both sides. They just rotate them 90 degrees and they fit together. And I have a steel core in the center, and I changed the length of it to adjust the weight. I do glue them together, so once they're set, they are set. I haven't found an easy way to make them where they can come apart and then go back together to change the weights. So, but let's see. Let me see if I can't get a nice up close view of that. I'm going to mess with this real quick. I apologize for. That's about as close in as I can get it. Okay, I'm going to switch back. There we go. Hope I didn't make anybody motion sick with that. That looks nice and in focus. If it isn't, please let me know and I'll adjust it again. I didn't actually design these particular tama. When I first started into braiding, I found a source for them that was fairly local to me, and the people I bought them from were getting a little older and not really interested in producing as much. So I made a deal with them and I bought the dyes off of them. And every couple of years, there's an injection molding company I use, and I have them make up like 500 to 1,500 shells for me. And that makes anywhere between 250 and 750 tama. No, actually, I've sold a fair amount of tama on to other people. Uh, uh, I probably have at the moment maybe 300 completed tama. So I could probably have maybe about 10 or 15 Marudai set up and running at the same time, or 2 or 3 Kakudais, depending on the pattern. The annoying thing is I could probably actually sell them fairly inexpensively if I could do like 30 or 40,000 of them at a run. I just can't afford it without a significant demand to justify it. There are some braids that use very heavy tama that I can't make because I can't get enough steel or even tungsten in one of these tama to make up the proper weight. So I've been considering adapting the design for my 3D printer and making larger ones with a larger steel core on the printer and slipping the weight in while it's printing, and do it as a sealed unit. but I'd want to do it with something like nylon, something that's nice and durable and can take a lot of banging around without starting to break apart. Because these tama do bump up against each other an awful lot. Yeah, I never really got a lot of Marudais at the same time because my thought was I wasn't really going to be doing more than one at a time until I started streaming and realized, it'd be fun to have like 5 or 6 so I can rotate them, set up at the same time so I can rotate them through. And it's not always the same braid each stream. Get a little more variation that way. I think I've got to the point where everything needs a tama drop. And I think on the next drop, if not this one, I'm going to hit the leaders on one of these tama. Yeah, I can understand that. The leaders are about a little over a yard long. Um, Basically, I went from as far as I could hold it in one hand to another, plus a little bit. So probably about a yard and a half. Um, shouldn't be more than about 5 feet. I figure I can use these on a Kakudai with the same leader and get all of the threads up to the point of braiding before I run out of leader space so that I don't waste any. Since on the Kakudai, I usually use silk if I can, and that's moderately expensive. Runs me about a little over $20 for a 2,500 meter spool of it, or spindle. Cone. Cone's the proper term for what I've got. They're small cones, but they are cones. The shipping makes it probably closer to about $28 each. And actually, I've got one I've mostly used up here. This is the silk I use. I know it's hard to see, but this thread is very, very thin. I usually use about 12 of these per tama. This is one that should show up relatively clearly. The white on here is the leader. And as you can see, I've only got maybe another 2 turns before I hit the leader on this one. Okay. Sorry, the Tama are trying to tangle together, so I gotta carefully untangle them. There we go. Um, it took me probably about hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to set up this Marudai for this particular braid. I've gotten relatively good at it. Putting the leaders on themselves was probably about another half hour, 45 minutes beyond that. But I've gotten fairly good at unwinding skeins of DMC floss. For when I set up silk for a Kakudai, that's more like about 5 to 10 hours to get it done properly with like about 70 Tama. I've got some warping pegs that I clamp to the Takadai on one end and a chair on the other end and walk it around 6 times. So I have doubled up 12 threads on it. Once I get my current Takadai, which I built like almost 20 years ago, fixed, I will start setting up a braid on that one. So I should have Takadai braiding streams soon. I do have one that I'm supposed to be doing with cotton floss to help somebody out who wanted to learn a particular pattern. And then I'm going to be doing a silk one in green and white silk for another streamer I know that I'm a pretty big fan of. They do twist a little bit, but I've noticed that as long as I'm careful with them when I roll them up, the individual threads are twisted, and together in a group, they, as long as I don't like let the tension drop as I'm setting them up, tend to stay straight fairly well, and it's a nice finish when I get it done. And even if they twist a little bit, the amount that shows up in the pattern doesn't really show an individual twist. So it winds up with a very nice, relatively shiny finish. The last one I did, which was the first one I did in silk, well, not the first one I did in silk, first one I did with this style of silk. I previously used a silk floss, kind of similar to DMC, only out of silk, for a previous braid. And now I've completely lost my train of thought. I'm sorry about that. Oh, about twisting. Yeah, and on both of those, it looked pretty good, and there was no real obvious twist to them. And I believe the silk cones I have now are a Z twist on the thread. Well, I got about 15 minutes left, so it's going to kind of be a race to see if I can get to the end here. Probably won't make it unless I run late. But like I said, I'll definitely be in the leaders. Yeah, it's fairly round. I think there's like a couple of fibers in it, but with silk, I'm not entirely sure. I think it's reeled silk as opposed to the other type, which I'm blanking on the name, Noil, or where it's like combined rather than reeled together directly off the cocoons. And looks like it's time for the bag to move up again. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 there. Making good progress. Well, we've had 3 people for most of the stream, so it's looking like this might be a good time to regularly stream at. I'll give it a try for the next couple of my streams, see how well it works. Next stream should be Thursday night. I have to go out constabling tomorrow night, so probably won't stream and just do it on Thursday. Which means it'll probably be the red and black one I've been doing for my other pattern. And I'm probably going to have to order some purple floss on Amazon because I haven't been able to find enough of one color at my local craft stores that I can hit reasonably easily on my way home from work that have enough of one particular color for the next one I've been asked to do. And I think it's time for a yellow Tama drop. And we've officially hit leader on one of them. Yep. Not familiar with those, the Jamie Bricker. Um, for getting aluminum washers, I would probably either go to Amazon, McMaster-Carr, or MSC, depending on where you're located. If you're out of the U.S., I'm not sure uh, what the best option would be. Amazon has the advantage of being relatively fast and usually not too expensive. McMaster or MSC will probably be cheaper per unit, but charge you a lot more on the shipping. But having worked as a CNC machinist for most of the past 20 years, those are the sources I tend to think of, are like MSC, McMaster, Granger, because that's usually where we find things that we need. Okay, I think I think I've run across the style you're talking about. I just didn't necessarily know the particular name to it. But yes, I've seen buttons that look like they're thread wrapped around washers to completely cover everything. Some with more decorative knots on top. And it's time for a purple Tama drop. Oh, speaking of the leaders I'm actually using a kite string. I don't remember the exact weight that I ordered, but it's a fairly thin one. I think it's like a 20-pound test line equivalent. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna actually get this one finished on this stream. So probably about the first 15 or 20 minutes of the next stream is when I'll get it finished up. I might even get things ready so that I could sew up the end, just so you can see how it is that it's done. I think with a little bit of preparation, I can do that with no issue. Probably won't be the most photogenic, since my wife tends to usually do that for me. Okay, I will definitely try and do it then. So unless something comes up, it'll be Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, same starting time as what I did tonight. I think I'll go ahead and stop when I do the next bag raise. It should be fairly soon. Okay, that's interesting, the Jammy Bricker, and thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. If you happen to know anybody else who's interested, please feel free to share the link to my channel. I'm happy to have anybody else stop on by. And no worries on the typing. I tend to make the occasional typo, and then there's always the ravages of autocorrect. It's never ducking. Okay, time for the bag raise. Oh, I'm sorry, the jammy. I misread that. Yeah, that sucks when somebody uh, does that. I apologize. I didn't catch that right the first time. They're going to use what you do and make money off of it, and it's your intellectual property. They should definitely pay you for it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost 7.5. So probably about 75 inches. So we added about 15 inches tonight. Thanks everybody for coming by. I appreciate it. And everybody have a good evening and happy braiding.